Yo, what is up? It's your boy RJ in the building, and today we have another discussion topic. Now, the first discussion topic actually went really, really well. You lot really enjoyed that topic as well. If you've not seen it, the link will be in the description too. But today we've got a new topic for you, right? And it will be about Eno. So obviously, man had to get the best Eno in the world with the topic as well, Mr. Poison Okami slash Mr. Okami-san slash my boy slash the person who's trying to be Roadman but isn't slash. Uh, See, I changed it. Usually I bring up your old PSN names.
Oh my god. Completely forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, it's your boy, Poison Akami. I'm out here, I'm back on RJ's channel, and he was like, And I was like, yeah.
If you watch me and you don't know Poison, I'm generally confused. So for that 0.001% that it probably has happened to, Poison does stream Naruto content. He's been on that grind. He does the YouTube videos. Road to 20k. He's almost there, kind of ish. I think you're like
Yeah, sort of.
17k. I think something like that. So
I think
you
so.
know, for those who somehow has found me and not him, that'd be weird. But if that's the case, do you know what I'm saying? Big up his thing. I also feature on there. To be fair, you've not. This is the first feature you've done on my channel this year.
Is it?
Yep, the first one this year.
No shot.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Let's get into the question. So the question is Eno meta slash meta relevant in connections? Now, Poison already knew this question because I'm telling the guests the question beforehand because I actually want them to kind of think about it, maybe come up with some ideas and go from there. Um, so Poison does know it. So just to elaborate what I mean by that is, so meta stands for most efficient tech available, right? So even though it says tech, it's just anything that's efficient, anything that is relevant in there. There's
Google
a whole
says
thing
that it's
about it.
most efficient tactics available.
Tactics, there you go. See, corrections. See, I'm being
If you
educated.
if you've seen my meta video, I at the very first 10 seconds I give the description of meta.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. So that's what we'll be discussing today. So Poison's gonna be giving his thoughts. I'm gonna give my thoughts. Gonna have a little talk, and then we'll give our final thoughts, and then I'll leave it to the comment section to share that from there. So we're gonna just go into a match just so we can kind of demonstrate what we're talking about and stuff like that, or whatever it may be. So Poison, the floor is yours. So you're gonna
Okay,
explain your thoughts, and then if you feel like you need to demonstrate anything, then by all means.
got you, got you. All right, hold on a second. Let me get right back up into the camera real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
In terms of the question of do I think Eno is meta relevant, after having some time to think about it, and to be honest, I didn't actually put as long as thought into it as you would think. I'd say like no, not really, because I mean the main reasons why is because on a standard point is I don't really see Eno getting picked often because I mean you know how this player base is. They're desperate to find whatever gets you the win, or as
Hmm.
I've said in my video, whatever shortcuts are there to get you the win fast. So you can bet that everybody in this player base have gone through like a bunch of the characters because I remember when the game first came out, there's a few people picking but they didn't play her for very long. And there's always my videos of me playing her, so people have time to analyze it and study it. And even after all that, people aren't still picking her. People are still leaving her on the sidelines. There's a few players that play her now. I've noticed. I've met some players recently that play her, but I wouldn't say they are like competitive meta players. They're more so on the casual side. They just play the game to have fun and they pick their favorite characters like I do.
Hmm.
But besides that, yeah, that is one reason. Another reason why I think she isn't quite meta relevant. I mean, I like to think of this catch. Okay, I like to think of this question as like a spectrum. Like, it's not like a definite yes or no. It's like it's like somewhere in between, like
Hmm.
like a meter, if you will. So has parts in her moveset that's very useful in battle, but she definitely has her weaknesses, and they always become apparent to me every time I play her. Her jutsu, both the flower bomb and the flower bomb scatter are very good jutsu. The flower bomb scatter is just amazing to throw out in the neutral. However, it literally gets beaten by every single jutsu except running jutsu and Hinata's air bombs. But other than that, it loses to absolutely everything. And then yeah, same for the flower bomb. Um, Obviously, they gave her that small, tiny buff to the flower bomb with the poison, which is nice.
Mm.
But yeah, other than that, like yeah, they buffed her combos. I mean, they're just generic combos. Like her hitboxes of her combos aren't too obnoxious. I mean, if you compare it, to like the latest characters we've been getting in the DLC, and even on connections released with like Baron made Naruto and stuff, Ino's hitboxes are nowhere near of the sort. Kurenai makes look trash sometimes. In that regard, Ino's got a decent grab, and her awakening is just the same, but with priority. So you know, like other characters that's off to the sidelines, is just one of those ones in the sidelines. But I can appreciate that maybe in the hands of a player myself, I can make her probably good in the meta. So this is why I say that's like a spectrum, because it's like maybe in some regular players' hands who might not know everything about they might struggle with like applying her in a competitive setting. But I probably could make a good difference with her. But yeah,
So are
that's
you
like
saying that at the just to clarify? So
yeah.
let's say at the highest level, right? They take them into a competitive play. Do you feel like they're at a super huge disadvantage? I'm talking like at the highest level, like you're getting the best out of her.
So okay, so we're talking about competitive play where everything is like peak like potential. Um, I'm trying to think of like what else could be at its peak potential. What have you got in the meta right now? Like I guess Hans is still there, Guy,
So like guys still
puppets.
there, Jigen is still there, Puppets are still there. Obviously, you have Tamari and Shikamaru, Karen, your
Inu is
Kakashi.
actually kind of decent versus puppets I found lately. Flower
Yeah,
bombs and the paper bombs within the flower bombs is quite
yeah.
funny. But other than that, I feel like in my experience, I feel like she loses quite a lot of those matchups. Versus Mike Guy, I think she'd do okay because of the flower bombs. It beats both of his taijutsu based jutsu.
Hmm.
And because of, I mean, I've said this before, Connections came out, this game is heavily jutsu based now. It's really gone like a Demon Slayer route in terms of just fundamental gameplay now. Is jutsus are implemented way more than they ever were in Storm.
Hmm.
Um, so taking that into account, yeah, obviously Ino loses to Jigen, Ino loses to a lot of other projectile jutsus. Oh, Shikamaru she beats, the bags that he's got.
Hmm.
Flower Bomb beats that. So basically, Flower Bomb can beat Hinata air bombs and Shikamaru bags. Other than that, loses to whatever projectiles pretty much.
Mm.
I'm not sure about second Mizu though. I'm getting sidetracked. Anyways,
It's all good. It's all good.
but I'm like thinking about everything in my head. But oh, excuse me, stop! I'm so
Uh-huh.
sorry. Oh my god. So, um, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so yeah, with Ino, yeah, I can appreciate she has things, but yeah, I think. Like I think yeah, compared to like Jigen and a lot of other characters, like, I think she just naturally loses.
So you think that not only does she not perform as well, she also loses
Yeah, because all these other characters have better IC1s or better mash hitboxes or better grab hitboxes and just a lot more easier, bigger hitboxes than what Ino has. Like, when I'm playing Ino, I have to really... It's always like I'm fighting an uphill battle, like I'm putting in all the effort, like I'm leaning forward like 45 degrees towards my monitor. I'm focusing on everything. I got all of like Ino's mechanics and her individual like frames in like locked in my head and everything. And like my opponent playing Jigen or whatever is like leaning back obtusely, throwing out J1s because he feels like it, wins. Can throw a grab mid-range, hits it because he can. It's like I can't do any of that with Ino. If I want to hit flower bombs or grabs with Ino, I have to really calculate and put in work and put in effort behind it. But I feel like with some of these other characters, I'm not saying it's always effortless with these other characters before you guys kill me in the comments, but it's a lot less effort to do it with those other characters than Ino because
Mm.
of the big hitboxes and just the priority that they have now.
But do you feel like the effort makes it worth it? I had a conversation with E about this topic because obviously, he's not going to be in the video, and
Right.
obviously E's philosophy is always like, which is true, if something's easy, right, and efficient, then obviously that's what kind of makes the meta. Because if it's easy, then it's consistent, right? And if it's obviously efficient, then obviously it's better, which is true. But my example was, and I know a lot of you don't play traditional fighters, but in Tekken, there was this character called Akuma, which I'm sure you will know. And he was
In Tekken
debatably,
7.
yeah, there was
Yeah.
debatably the hardest character to play in the
Mm.
game. But he was the best character in the game. And so
Mm.
even though he was the hardest, and it's like you had all these other characters that kind of just you just throw out a button and it does all the work for you. His
Yeah.
that difficulty, it was still worth it because of the reward you get.
Yeah, as I
And
said,
I
high.
was,
It's like high difficulty but high
yeah,
reward, right?
and that's how I see Ino. I'll be honest. I don't think that Ino is top one at the highest level, but I
No.
think what she brings to the player, what she brings to the table, is strong movement and strong neutral game. I think. I think,
Yeah, her movement and neutral is very good. Those are
yeah,
things I definitely pride
that's
her
what
on all the time.
she. That's what I think like is her specialty. If you have strong movement and you know how to really work those flower bombs, right? It's kind of like you're. I feel like even though you don't have priority on the jutsus and all the rest of it, I think it's still gonna be very hard to win neutral over Ina. I feel like neutral is still gonna be hers because when she throws the flower bomb, she even jumps back a bit, and it just feels like you're always flowing. It feels smooth. You know, like with Madara, when you shoot the Phoenix flower, he's very grounded. You know,
Yeah.
like he's very grounded when you shoot out. With her, even when you shoot out a flower bomb, she's light. She's feathery. She's everywhere. So you're trying to go in, and it's like she's just constant stuff to combine with the supports. So I feel like her neutral control over especially aggressive players, if you really got that down, you got the positioning down. I feel like is next. I generally feel like is next to none. I'll be honest. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I said this on stream, like on my either my last stream or the stream before. I did say because somebody made a comment about Ino's ninja movement because like I did like a really good dodge with her ninja movement plus shuriken, and without thinking, I just said, "Oh yeah, Ino's got the best ninja movement in the game."
yeah, but
I
she,
mean,
I feel
I
like
didn't.
she always has.
To be honest, even though I put no thought into it, reflecting on that, I mean, you probably got to stand by that statement. I think she does have the best ninja movement. Like, she can travel such long distances,
The
and
only, the only person I think does it better than her is Kawaki's forward movement. I don't know if you've seen it.
yeah, that's fast. Kawaki
Because
goes
when you
far.
pair that, especially with a speed pill, then you just kind of abuse that forward ninja move forward.
Yeah,
In my opinion, that is broken, and you know I don't throw that word out.
yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah,
I generally feel like that because he moves like ridiculously fast. Do you know what
yeah,
I mean? Like to the point where I'm questioning was it intended. Like that's how quick he moves. So
right,
I
right.
think he's the only person that can rival her. But outside of that, I think she takes it. Like she's always
Yeah,
had it.
she has always got a great ninja movement. It's fast, it's precise
Yeah,
to the point, and then it is really flexible. If you throw in this
yeah,
shuriken, she
exactly.
travels an extra 2 miles on top. You know, it's yeah, she's yeah. Like I've always prided. I always sometimes even when I'm team building and I decide, oh, do I want Inu and yeah, and I say yeah, it is usually because of
That
her
strong
neutral
neutral,
play.
strong
Yeah,
neutral is so strong.
very good neutral play. Yeah, she's very
Because
good
like
at
you could have
engaging.
I could have Minato, and like let's say I don't know two close range fighters, and I know that Ino can pattern that neutral by herself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? For example, I picked the team I picked right just because I thought if I'm playing, let's say I'm an Ino main and I want to play the meta, right? Okay, cool. I'm gonna pick Shikamaru tomorrow. I'm looking at this
Mm.
team. I don't see this team as a bad team. Do you know what I
Well, I
mean?
mean, that's a very good team because you got Shikamaru to
No, but
marry.
I mean like when I put Eno there, she doesn't feel like oh, I gotta make up for Eno. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, oh, yeah, no, I've never had that thought ever
do you know
in
what I
this
mean?
game.
Like for me,
Yeah,
it's
no.
like well, Eno's just gonna rock the jutsus, like rock the neutral world. Like that's it. Like that's why. And
Yeah.
then that combined with like the speed of her grab. Like for example, I'll see you do it. You're grabbing and you'll do a jutsu. Even though that you can't come from the jutsu, you don't really care because neutral is her world anyways. You're
Yeah.
like I'll happily sit in neutral all day long. I don't mind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and I feel like only Eno in out of all the 100 characters that could do this, I feel like only Eno can do that. I feel like only Eno is the only character that can play neutral like how she plays neutral. I don't think any other
Mm.
character plays it like her.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely has her own style, like that's for sure when it comes to playing neutral, and
Yeah.
that's always something I feel like, and I always think about it, like, I can't play Shino like I play Ino, I
Mm.
can't play Kirin Sasuke like I play Ino, I can't play who else do I play? I mean, I play a bunch of, I can't play Jiraiya or Minato and Tell from Naruto, Kiba exactly the same way. No, the way she can implement herself in battle is yeah, a lot different. And my mindset with her when I have her as the point character is a lot different to what my mind is thinking when I have somebody else as my point character.
Yeah. Even when I played it's one time we all know I don't really play I would say that I'm more of a neutral player myself. And I
Yeah.
play and I'm just like, bro, neutral is mine every time. Like neutral is mine. Like like I'm never going in. I don't need to. Like, do you know what I mean? And the thing is,
Right.
it's not even like her combos are bad. Like she has a jail. That's big in this game.
Yeah,
Do
the jail
you know what I
is
mean?
execution important.
Yeah,
Like if
yeah,
you
it
block a
is.
second,
You can,
if we want to demonstrate this
yeah, go for
to
it.
to the homies watching this. So usually when I do the jail, I don't know about anybody else, but this is always most effective to me. I always do it about there when she does that last roundhouse. So and I
Mm,
do that with a jump like the God, the guards are so weak. So I
yeah,
do it like there. Now that's a bad of example. So this is why I
yeah,
said execution heavy.
yeah. That was
Now
good
that
as
was a
well.
good
That would have been
example
a good one.
because
Yeah,
yeah, so me and RJ could tell that was a good example, but even though it guard break because of how low Ino is down to the ground. Basically, viewers, when Ino extends her leg to do the AC one, depending on the distance from the ground to the bottom of her leg, will kind of determine how well it's done, or just how close Ino generally is to the ground. If
mm,
she's like floating a bit, yeah, that's a bad job. You don't hit circle anymore. But if she really sticks to the ground as she does it, then you've just done a very good one.
yeah,
There you go. That's a
yeah,
good one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then by the time you go back to there, it's a guaranteed guard break on that roundhouse. It happens all the time, even
Yeah.
on healthy guard. Like when I did it to RJ just then. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, viewers. RJ just edited this because I just failed about 10 times in a row.
No,
But
no, 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 no. You did it first.
but but even when he had full health block, and the moment she did her IC1, all the way back to that last roundhouse, it was all a guard break. So, Ino is an execution heavy character as well, which is always something I've always appreciated on her. I mean, that's the statement I said earlier. Is like compared to Ino, you really gotta make sure you're pressing your buttons right. Like
Yeah,
compared to Asuma, like you can be a little bit more relaxed with Asuma when doing the gel because you know he's gonna slide down the block. Where
yeah.
Ino, you really gotta make sure you're as low down to the ground as possible.
100%. I think it's definitely worth the practice. If you get, and this is what I was talking about in terms of skill ceiling, if you get the movement down, you get the jail down, you get the placements of the flower bombs down, right? And even her as a support, if for whatever reason you switch and you know how to utilize that flower bomb properly, right? You get all of those things down. Just me personally, I think, she can tango. She's not deep in there, like she's not, you know, I'm not putting her S tier or anything like that. You know what I mean,
Nah.
right?
Yeah.
But I if someone said to me that Eno's like a A tier character, maybe like a low A, I would listen.
I put her in A.
Yeah, and I don't opposed to that in this game. I generally don't. And the
Yeah.
fact that her grab is one of the fastest grabs in the game. It's quick. Do you
Yeah,
know what I
she's very
mean? Like
vulnerable. Obviously,
next to
like the
Asuma,
recovery time
Asuma's
is
grab is also quick.
yeah, the recovery time of Ina's grab is awful though because obviously she's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
on
of
her
course.
knees,
Yeah, of course.
so it takes her a while to get back up. But yeah, like a tech that I always do with Ina, we can actually demonstrate on screen here for the viewers so they have something nice to watch. Um, I do this with the likes of Ina, Orochimaru, Pain, Jugo, anybody with long grabs basically. Alright, if you C dash me, I always
Yeah.
do this. So I force a C dash clash and then switch straight into a grab. Now, what I did right there is quite a lot to comprehend in the matter of that 1 second it just happened, because you know several things just happened. But basically, you force a C dash clash, you switch to Eno, and then you do like the grab basically. And it's always guaranteed as long as you're quick on the switch into the grab. It's guaranteed 100% of the time as long as the opponent isn't aware of it and doesn't try to sub it.
So, do you have any like final thoughts of Eno, or did you get everything out for the most part?
Um,
Any final like
in
stuff you
terms of
want?
your like, in terms of your overall question about is meta relevant, like on the spectrum, I'd say not quite compared to like the monsters that you do have. Um, like what you said, I pick her in agreement to what you've said about her neutral, the strengths that she does have in terms of her movement, her neutral, and things like that, her flexibility. Even as support, her flower bomb scatter is very good in the mid range to close range.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about meta and actually trying to win for like
Mm.
all the stakes or whatever, isn't quite. I mean, I would probably still use her in those certain scenarios because I am just that type of person. But I
Yeah, yeah.
wouldn't. I wouldn't ever expect anybody else, any other top player or any other competitive player, no matter what their skill level is, to attempt even using Eno. And if they did, I'd have a lot of respect because, like I said, compared to all these other characters, Eno requires work to make successful. And to answer the question that you did ask earlier, which we kind of drifted away from, I do think it's worth it though. So those of you that are looking at this video and thinking about picking up Eno, RJ asked, "Well, do you think it's worth it?" I actually think it is,
I think so too.
because Eno is, yeah, she doesn't give you things as easily as other characters, and she doesn't have the shortcuts like other characters does. She It's thanks to Eno partially as to why my fundamental style in this game is as strong and as solid as it is, because I've always in all the games have to work hard with Eno. I was forced to learn basics and make them strong. So if you're trying to get your fundamental level up and you're not trying to rely on very OP hitboxes, Eno is your girl.
Like I said, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. Obviously, my only thing is that I feel like she has some relevancy because it's worth it. If you're a very talented Eno player, I feel like you can compete with Eno. And for me, if you can compete with the character, I think there's some relevancy there. That's the only thing
Yeah,
that I would say.
now that you say that, back in Storm 4 during lockdown when I was participating in a bunch of tournaments, I did take Eno into a few of them, and she did get me some wins. The team was Eno, Shino, and Talbeast from Naruto. They were the homies.
Yeah,
But did do her fair share of usefulness back then.
yeah,
The amount of strike backs I got off her flower bomb, the amount of sub traps I got off the paper bombs in her flower bombs in those competitive settings, and I knew what I was doing the whole time, and I was capitalizing on it. Like had stuff even back in Storm 4, which is different to now,
yeah, yeah,
arguably weaker than now. Like she had stuff then, and I think she could still do it again now.
yeah. Okay. Well then, yeah, that'll be it for our discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed. I generally enjoyed this one. I think it was really interesting
It
because
was a good topic. I like that. Yeah.
yeah, I think it was really interesting because I feel like Eno's always been a character where people know of her existence, mainly because of Poison, but nobody really plays Eno. Whereas I feel
Yeah.
like in connections or something's telling me that we're gonna get a bit more Eno players. I feel like.
Oh yeah, I've started seeing some sprout up. Like
Yeah.
I've seen two or three other players who also have level 99 Enos besides myself. There's other level 99 Enos in this game, which makes me
Yeah,
very happy to see.
literally. Alright guys, well I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please be sure to give it a like. Remember to subscribe. If you've not for some reason headed over to Poison's channel, then do so as well. I will be, like I said, I will be doing more discussion topics either by myself or with guests as well, since you lot like it. The more you lot like it is the more I'll do it. If you lot don't like it, I'll think of other stuff. That's basically how it works. So without further ado, I bid you guys farewell. Peace, sayonara, and adios.